Look, I've stated before, and others have as well, that mistakes have been made by the government and by Irish Water in relation to this whole project. It's important to admit that and put the hands up. Mistakes have been made about the ambitious scale of the project, the time scale, the speed that was being implemented. The charging regime was too complicated. People didn't understand it. Even the people, the vast majority who I believe were happy and understanding about paying water charges, were confused or felt that the charging regime was too high. Communication, particularly by Irish Water, was also at fault and poor. Therefore, I welcome today the clarification and the corrections that have taken place by the government, by the minister. I welcome the simplicity of the new regime, of there being two charges for a person living on their own or for a family of two or more people. I welcome the issue of certainty, that bills will be capped up till the 1st of January 2019. This will give assurance to people that they'll be able to budget over the next number of years, and obviously when they know the bills and they can provide the money for that with certainty. I welcome also the affordability, and when you combine the affordability issue with the recent budget changes, which is putting money back into people's pockets in terms of your workers in relation to the changes to the USC, in relation to the cut in the rate of tax and the increases in the threshold when people start paying USC and the higher rate of tax, this now becomes more affordable. I was contacted by only two people who marched in Galway, and both of them, both genuine people who had genuine concerns, had the same reason for marching, and they marched because they had concerns about the PPS numbers and giving their PPS numbers to Irish Water. And no matter how much explaining I tried to do, or reassurance, or talking about the allowances at the time, I couldn't convince them that it was a good idea, and that was the sole reason that they were marching. So I welcome the changes that have taken place in relation to PPS numbers, that people will now liaise with the Department of Social Protection, who obviously are the owners and controllers of the PPS numbers, in relation to getting the €100 conservation grant. Again, privatisation was an issue that was being raised. I believe, that as others have said, people's fears were being stoked up. But I welcome again the clarification that is put in that a future government will have to go and actually remove that section from any bill, and it would be a very brave government that would remove that from legislation and not put the question to the people in terms of a plebiscite. And I asked a question of the Minister for Finance regarding the liberalisation of the water services market and whether there be any requirement under EU legislation. The response I received, part of it is that there is no European legislation requiring Ireland to liberalise the water services market, and in a communication earlier this year the European Commission confirmed that it will continue to ensure full respect of treaty rules governing the European Union to remain neutral in relation to national decisions governing the ownership regime for water undertakings. But I appreciate that people have had genuine concerns, and I hope that this will be able to allay those fears. I also welcome the initiatives in relation to water conservation, the grant that will allow people to cut back on water. And I disagree with those that have said the meters are a waste. There's still an opportunity to save money by actually beating the meter, by using less water than you would pay under the existing rules or the plan new rules. And the statistic that the Minister highlighted there about 22 houses who have meters installed, who were leaking up on 1 million litres a day, enough to run the town of Gorey, is a starting statistic. So you can see the savings that can be made there in relation to proper metering and investment. And I see it myself in other areas in Galway where there has been district metering put in to make it easier to identify leaks within the system. One of the most important issues in the rationale behind Irish Water is that they can invest. They can invest in a broken system that we have. They can invest in those towns where there is problems with wastewater. There's 42 towns listed for them in my own county, in Kinvara and Carrew and Spidgel and Roundstone, that they can put that investment in place to ensure that the bathing water standards are being met, they're laid out by European Union, the drinking water standards are met also, and they are also laid down by European Union regulations. And it's important that we continue that investment. There's so much that needs to be done. Here in Dublin, we're on a knife edge. It requires up on €500 million to invest.
Thank you, Deputy.
Yeah, I also just finally to acknowledge that many people who are happy to pay bills will want to know that everyone else is paying also, and I also welcome the measures put in place to ensure that there is compliance with this.
Thank you very much.
you.